Hello, I am Gibson Shamar, and this is yet another edition of our videos where we talk about shows. I need to come up with a proper name for these kinds of videos. Well, surely enough, I will. Just like it's a sure thing that Reacher will deliver on action and drama. That's exactly what we'll be talking about in this video. Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about Reacher Season 3. Reacher's back again. We're going to be talking about the show the way we do every other show. First, we talk about the characters, then we talk about the show overall. So let's get into it. Number 1, Jack Reacher. There's a lot and very little that can be said about it. He's a simple man who lives off the grid because he doesn't want to be bothered by the world around him. His travels around the country land him in trouble that he doesn't want to be a part of, but ends up helping in. This time the case was different. He got involved because it was a personal case. He doesn't like being called Mr. He's always carrying himself like he owns the place, plays by his own rules, doesn't listen to orders, knows everything that's relevant to the case, and is always right. He's also a giant of a man. He's always the biggest guy in the room, so if you can't be a smart mouth with him and get what you want that way, you'll have to beat him up. And that's pretty much impossible. He's strong, he's quick, and he's smart. Number 2, Zachary Beck. He's not really the bad guy of the season. He's a businessman who sells carpets and rugs and uses that business to carry weapons around the country illegally. Yeah, he does that. He's a very rich guy who is committed to his job and assignment. Unfortunately, he does that largely because he's being threatened into it with his son as leverage. His son, Richard, was once kidnapped and they cut his ear off to show that they meant business. This deeply affected Zachary and it made him look like he was a bad father. His relationship with his son became strained after that. Zachary is a man who is trying his best to maintain control over his life. He has the power, which gives him a bit of authority, but he doesn't have the other necessary thing in this kind of world, a dangerous aura. He's safe to be around. He has a stern and tough tone when he speaks, but that's just about it. There's nothing to back him up beyond that. Number 3, Richard Beck. He's Zachary's son. Of course, being the son of a rich man would have its perks, but Richard here doesn't really see that much. He suffered a lot because of what his father is involved in and has become an awkward weakling who finds comfort in isolation. He's very isolated, doesn't have any friends, and longs for a life beyond the fence he's practically confined to. He even confides in Reacher that he wants to just live off the grid just like him. He's soft-spoken, innocent, and naive. We don't blame him for that last one. It's normal when you're a teenager. Number 4, Susan Duffy. She's a cop who is as tough as nails and takes her job very seriously. She seems to be from Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. Her accent is very strong. I'm sure she's from Brooklyn. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that much about accents in USA. All I know is that she has a very strong accent. Adding to the strong accent is the strong personality. Not many people can keep up with Reacher's attitude, but she does. She does it so spectacularly that you can't even blame Reacher for falling for his colleague at work. Being an exaggerated version of someone can cause a romantic attraction. Trust the science, man. Anyway, she's a DEA agent who's after Francis Quinn, who is believed to have taken her informant captive. She doesn't take no for an answer and challenges Reacher to help her or stay out of the way. And she would keep her word. Number 5, Guillermo Villanueva. He doesn't have much going on. I don't even know why I'm talking about him, but whatever. He's a cop on the verge of retirement. He isn't remarkable in any way, not even in the show. He's just a cop who worked and is now going into retirement. He has the typical cop attitude of trying to keep law and order, trying to help out an old friend, and being nice to the rookie, who in this case is Stephen Elliott. Number 6, Stephen Elliott. Stephen is a rookie still finding his way in the DEA. He messed up really badly in their last job and Duffy hates him for it. She's always on his case about that and never lives it down. She constantly belittles him, making it clear to everyone around him that he shouldn't be taken seriously. He's a small guy, very nice, very kind, obedient, but also a bit naive. He's the guy you would peg for the good cop in an interrogation or any other setting that requires the good cop, bad cop routine. Yeah, that gets him killed too. See, kids, that's not the way we should be when we're cops. Remember that. Lucky number 7, Francis Quinn, or Julius McCabe. He's the main antagonist of the show. He's of Asian descent and is a very bad person. He's a psychopath, a sicko, and pretty much everything bad about the world. He killed Reacher's assistant a few years before the show's first season's events, and Reacher tracked him down and shot him in the head, leading to him falling into a river. He survived the shot and fall and recovered, but had amnesia. Lucky guy. He hated people who conspired against him and was very careful with his work. His evil nature took precedence over all human decency, which is why Reacher was so dead set on killing him. Lastly, number 8 is Frances Neely. She works with Reacher and has been for a long time. She helps him get information on certain things he needs in order to solve the cases he's part of. She has the same hair color as I do, and is still very loyal to Reacher, in a friend way, not in the I secretly want to fornicate you way. Not every relationship ends up like that. So she's in the season, and despite being credited in all the episodes, she only appears in the last few episodes of the show. She's careful, resourceful, witty, snarky, somewhat sarcastic, and fiercely loyal to Reacher. She doesn't step out of line with him. She does what he asks for and always makes sure to keep herself from trying to challenge him. So, we've talked about the characters, let's talk about the show itself. The season is good. It is well produced, it is well acted. The story is pretty good too. I like how Reacher was shown to be very vulnerable in this season. I'm not talking about emotional vulnerability. I'm talking about physical vulnerability. In the beginning, it seemed that he had made too many mistakes and was in big trouble due to thinking that he could solve every problem the way he usually does. I liked that. Then it turned out that it was all fake and it was part of some grand master plan. Get out of here, Kevin Feige. Tell the screenwriters to finish the script for Avengers Doomsday first. Reacher was kind of out of his depth with this one, but the season doesn't really touch on that too much. Even though he was getting things done, he still needed help from the people around him. This time the show made it more clear that he can't get things done on his own. I like that about this season. He was way too good at everything for me to properly invest in the show. I even talked about it in the previous season's video. Sometimes your main character has to be weak to fail, then be overtaken, beaten, outwitted, outmatched in order for things to be fun. I liked Duffy's character. I didn't like how she treated Elliot though. He was just a kid still learning the ropes. She even acknowledged that mistakes are made from time to time and that it wasn't a reason to keep beating him down all the time. She still kept doing it after, and this convinced people that Elliot shouldn't be taken seriously. He was taken advantage of by the hostage driver they captured and was killed. I blame Duffy for that. Also, her accent, although kind of sexy, felt like she was forcing it out. I don't know about you, but it seemed to be something unnatural for her. She wasn't speaking as though she was from wherever her accent is from. She was speaking as if it were rehearsed. I don't know, it's just me. Maybe she really does speak like that. I've never seen her in anything other than this show. The flow of the show is also nice. It doesn't move too quickly and it doesn't move too slowly. It moves at a perfect pace, just like the previous seasons. Some episodes feel short and others feel long, but it's never to a negative point. It's all positive. The bad guys were intimidating. The sense of danger was real. It delved into how cruel some people in this world really can be. I mean, they actually discovered a point where they can just dump bodies whenever they kill people. Seriously, dude?
sensational.
I mean, Thanos was right, but geez, man, I didn't imagine things going that far. The worst thing is that this kind of thing happens in real life too. It's really sad. It's like poetry. It rhymes. It's still sad to me that the order of the books isn't being followed. The season is based on the 7th book that was published. Chronologically, it's the 11th story. Yeah, the author, Lee Child, did things like X-Men movies. He made stories and then just went to the past, then told stories about the present, and then went back to the past. Unlike the X-Men movies, though, he actually cared about what was established and made sure that there weren't any gaping plot holes. Unlike what Fox did with pretty much every prequel they made, especially X-Men First Class. A movie that people still debate about whether it was a prequel or a reboot. I'm sure even Fox didn't know what it was back then. They just wanted an X-Men movie. I remember the first time I saw that movie. The moment they showed Mystique in Charles's house, I stopped watching the movie and went to bed. Anyway, this is about Reacher, not X-Men. Lee Child has published so many Reacher books that it'd be impossible to make them all into different seasons of this show anyway. As of now, there are 29 books and a 30th is coming out at the end of this month. Yeah, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. And I know that no actor will want to make 30 seasons of a show. That would be silly. That would be ridiculous. Richard's story is also sad. He got his ear cut off and he doesn't have a mother. She died. His only family is his dad, who doesn't have time for him. He doesn't quite understand why, but he just accepts that that's the situation he's been confined to. It's cool though. He adapts to the limitations he has. He also goes through the stereotypical bullying that all weaklings have. The bully targets him because his dad lost his job because of Richard's dad. Reacher beats the bully up along with his cohorts. You can tell that this story was made a long time ago with some modern takes being included. That's the beauty of this show. It keeps things simple and straightforward. One thing I do find lacking is that there's no sense of purpose. Reacher is just a guy traveling from place to place with no goal. He's just doing whatever. I get that that makes for a good story because it doesn't force the writers to keep things linear. Having an overall goal kind of limits the storytelling capacity, so just making it random adventures is cool. It makes for a good show that can be cancelled at any point without it leaving unresolved threads. Plus, I'm pretty sure Lee Child never intended for his books to be turned into a show. If he did, then he did a darn good job at making 29 books of it. Do you think that Alan Ritchson will be willing to stick around for another 26 years? Frances Neely. Apparently she's a fan favorite character, or maybe she's a favorite of the producers. I watched this season, and when she came up I had this strange feeling that that wasn't supposed to happen. I mean, she kind of really was just added into the story out of nowhere. I went to do some research and noticed that she's not in the book that this season is based on. Boom! I got it. So they included her because she's either a fan or producer favorite character. That's the way you do a show.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Nope, you're comically wrong, guy from Two Stupid Dogs. That's how you do a show. You keep adding your favorite character to everything and making sure that they're just as, if not more important than the main characters of the story, and no matter what, just keep doing it until you eventually get a spin-off show where you can finally just make them the main character and have more time for them on screen. And there it is. Boy, oh boy. We are in for a treat next year, huh? She was shoehorned in, but thankfully she didn't eclipse everyone else. She served her purpose in the show and was shoved into the cases. It all worked out in the end. And there's Reacher and Polly, the other giant in the show. I complained in last season's video about how Reacher is always the biggest guy around and he gets away with being rude to people because they can't do anything to him regardless of how skilled they are. This time it wasn't like that. That's why I'm saying that Reacher was vulnerable this season. He wasn't just walking all over everyone this time. He was in real trouble. He had beef with Paulie, and Paulie was clearly more than a match for him. He managed to deck Reacher with just one punch. He gave Reacher the hardest fight we've seen him in, and it was the most entertaining sequence ever. Reacher couldn't beat him with raw strength like he always did. He had to use his brains for it, and that's what he ended up doing. He won the fight through deception. My favorite moment was when he drowned Paulie, then got out of the water and was walking slowly to Zachary's compound, and Paulie shows up behind him. Reacher sighed because he was tired of it all. I'll admit, even I sighed like, man, don't you die? Reacher was very worried about himself. That was my favorite moment in the whole show. Anyway, this was a very good show and deserves the respect it's getting. It's far better than most of the mainstream shows that are always being talked about. I'm just happy Amazon hasn't cancelled it. I hope they keep it going forever. Or until the point where they can't do it anymore and then just quit. We'll see when the time comes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll be sure to be uploading videos more consistently. It's just a bit of a challenge these days to do it weekly. Suddenly things got really intense for me and I have to find a way to balance all my new activities in order to get things done for Hikati Media on time. Don't worry, I'm not gone, I'm right here. Please check out our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and our blog. In case I'm not here talking to you, there's gonna be something you can entertain yourself with. Have a good day.